After that quick change, we're back for the second half of our show in the spring. Every year we graduate a certain number of seniors, and so the second half of the spring show is dedicated to those seniors. We have people talk about them, we have them sing songs that they sung when they were little babies in the group. So we're going to start off with Nathan Pacheco. Everyone, this is Nate. Nathan Pacheco is a notorious stack drifter, a sad boy obsessed with wastewater, Shir's resident troll who has never been pictured with his tongue inside of his mouth, and also a man who can't hit a super strike in Mario Strikers to save his life. Though my time with Nate and Shir has been relatively short, it honestly feels like I've known you for forever. I feel confident that I can speak for everyone else in the group when I say that besides the numerous titles mentioned above, everyone also knows you as the guy who gives. Let me explain what I mean a little bit more. To those within this group and to his many other friends, Nate is selfless to a fault. This year, Nate has navigated being the president through member changes, taking a total of 6 new babies, organizing bondings and traditions each semester, working with everyone's other rehearsals, because everyone does musical theater, last-minute plan and gig changes, and much, much more. Beyond that, he also created a really nice space where all Shir members feel safe and valued, expressing their beliefs and troubles. He literally helped coordinate so one of our rehearsals each week has time for us to vent and talk to each other. He gives so much of himself to our group, sometimes at his own expense, and expects nothing in return. He constantly surpasses his responsibilities of only making sure everything's running smoothly in the group, which is already really hard. Because that's how much he cares, although you'll have to get through his hard boy exterior to get him to admit that. All of that is only scratching the surface of what he's done in this year. Not to mention also being BM, perk, star soloist, and versatile baritone for the rest of the time he's been around. Beyond the ways he's contributed to the group, Nate gives generously in all of his individual relationships. He's always the first to text or ask if something's wrong if he hasn't heard from you in a while, regardless of the insane stress of managing everything else that he does. A huge senior capstone, running Read by the River, which is another halal-based organization, perhaps following in the footsteps of previous Goa President Lisa. Working as a TA and much more. He's opened up his home, both on campus and his literal home in Weymouth, to countless Shir events, and personally to me for around 2 weeks at the beginning of last summer, before my lease began. A time which took us from like extracurricular activity friends to dudes who are pretty much inseparable and have an unhealthy obsession with beer and Wii games. He's also given Shir the wonderful gift of his friends and family. Special shout out to honorary Shir member who's already graduated, a bear. To the incomparable Genie Pacheco. Superfans whose origin comes from this man right here. There are several individual Shir stories that give us little glimpses into who Nate has been for us. Whether it's doing his callback with a super obscure musical theater song after being specifically told to not do a musical theater because he thought he could get away with it.
I did.
Being a part of the least creative baby skit in recent memory. Yes, Nate played the part of Jate, Gate, many others, and Mike. All in one skit, rapping Hine aggressively, getting taken hostage by a little girl named Eliana on Florida tour, subtly pre-gaming for senior bar night during rehearsal, originating the use of the word frick in the group, saying y'all 17 times during every single president's speech, or failing miserably at drawing side dogs. Nate has indelibly left a mark on our generation of Shir, as well as those that came before us. That's who he is. If you've met him, you'll know and you'll remember him and how selflessly he gives to others. So from all of us this year, Nate, I want to say thank you so much. You've been an amazing leader. Sorry. Friend, peer, and mentor to all of us. You've given each of us so much, and you've given me something even greater than you could possibly know. This group. If it weren't for you, and Sarah, but she got her speech last year, I wouldn't have joined Shir, and I can't imagine what my life would be like without this crazy, quirky group of a cappella and musical theater nerds, or without you. Luckily, I realized that I won't have to think about that, because Nate's staying for a 5th-year master's program at Tufts, so I'm happy to announce knowing that we have you just a few minutes away in Central is amazing. And I can speak for the whole group when I say we're so glad that we know we'll be able to see you next year. Thank you for everything, Nate. We all love you.